Some brown parents don't realize how damaging it is to tell a girl to wait till marriage to do what she
In African households, this is why moving out is such a big deal. And maybe this can be said for other immigrant households as well. But if you're a daughter, especially a firstborn daughter in an African immigrant household, moving out is such a big deal because if you're moving out as an unmarried woman to your own house and own space, this means there's opportunity for you to exercise autonomy, make your own decisions, and not necessarily be connected to the family structure that you have been brought up in and raised in and have lived in under your parents' roof. Now, as we know, moving out to your own place does not mean you're like disconnecting from your parents completely. But I think psychologically, there is that fear of, oh, when you get independence, when you get financial independence, you'll be different from us or separate from us since you're away from us. When that's not necessarily the case, you're just going to be developing, your own interests, skills, things that you wanted to do as a child that maybe you could not invest in now as an adult. You can not entertain, but engage in that now. And that for some reason is a scary thought for a lot of immigrant families, a lot of immigrant parents. And I think boundary setting is something as firstborn daughters, as immigrant daughters, and I'm going to speak to women because I feel like our challenge is a bit more different than the men, but obviously dialogue is free. We can have additional discourse on that. But as firstborn daughters in immigrant households particularly, it's important for us to have boundary settings because the boundaries we help establish makes it easier for our siblings who follow us. So you'll find in a lot of households when the firstborn daughter, breaks free, if you will, the siblings who come after her, they have an easier time, navigating their own independence. But until then, it's pretty it's pretty landlocked. It's pretty landlocked. It's pretty airtight in terms of freedoms and the restrictions you have. And I'm not saying that the boundaries immigrant families or more culturally conservative families have are bad, but I'm saying long term it can be harmful when we are not giving space for firstborn daughters, immigrant daughters to be able to make our own decisions. Because what I find happens is that a lot of immigrant daughters grow up to be adults who cannot make decisions for themselves and they are handicapped. And it's scary because as an adult, there is no excuse for you to be incompetent, if you will. And society will punish you for being an adult who cannot make your own decisions. So there is guilt when you are navigating your own life and having your own space, but it's very necessary because it's not sustainable to be that controlled and handicapped in an immigrant family and context.